The power of creative flow for fitness professionals or anyone who wants to create content. Do you ever sit down to create content and think, I'm completely blocked? This happens a lot to people that I coach and I work with on content creation. And then on other days, you can think, this is easy, like it flows, and you're just like, yeah, this is just so easy, we're all cooking on gas. Let me tell you something. This comes down to creative flow. Today I'm going to show you how to get into creative flow as a fitness pro, coach or creator. So your content not only connects, it also converts. So what is creative flow? Creative flow is when you get into a state of creativity and you're feeling good about the content you're creating and you just feel like it's just, well, flowing really. The ideas pour out of you easily. You're in the zone essentially and you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, you're feeling energised. And then as a result of that, your creativity just sparks. It's just like you almost can't stop it, it's pouring out of you. And this is where we need to get to when we're looking at content creation for Instagram, for YouTube, or anything, and also business development as well. It works the same way. You actually feel really good after you've been in such like a zone. Or I do. When I've been in like a zone and the creativity has just been flowing, it's almost addictive. You get the same endorphins as when you've been to the gym, which sounds crazy, I know, but you can get into this state. So in this video, I'm going to break down how I would get into creative flow and what I recommend to my clients. So the same way you hit the perfect training, so it's the same as when you hit training perfectly. You're just in the zone, you're enjoying it, you're not really thinking about anything else. And the same applies to your training as it does with your content or your business development. No overthinking, you're not tired from it, it doesn't drain you, it actually energises and works the opposite way. So, I hear you ask, why does creative flow make better content? Content when created when you're actually in flow, in tune, in line, energised, can actually create better content because it just feels like it's got more energy behind it. It feels more authentic, more inspired, and you actually can concentrate on what you're trying to say, what your ideal clients want to hear, and also your USPs, your values, your messaging. It's like taking a deep breath of air and just thinking, oh, this is great. This is why I work for myself. Even if you are a fitness coach and not a content creator, we all know these days that every fitness coach has to be somewhat of a creator. But the barrier to that is often overthinking. It's not giving yourself enough time to get ideas together, not giving yourself enough time to get creative and into flow. Because of this, a lot of coaches just don't bother. It seems too draining, too much hard work for them. And as a result, they end up not being seen and not being visible online, which is such a dying shame. AI can create and generate your content ideas and generate scripts and even clone your voice, but that does not replicate you and your stories, your empathy, your passion, your tone of voice. It cannot replicate that, and that's down to you to use AI as a tool and take it, make it your own, and put your own emphasis on the words. Present to camera with action, with gesticulation, with passion and energy. Think about your location that you're going to film in. There's lots of things that AI cannot do. But if you turn up and bang it into ChatGPT, oh here we go, let's just talk like a robot and just do it word for word, verbatim, dash, comma, it's just not going to work. Would you connect, ask yourself, would you connect with that? Would you connect with someone who's just reading a ChatGPT script in its almost bullet-like format? No. So, what you need to do is put the ands, the ums, the pauses, the thought, the facial expression, the gesticulation, the hand movements, the energy. All this stuff really matters. The things that matter when we are in flow and we are presenting content is things like hand movements, it's smiling, it's pauses, it's things like that. So why not invest in something like a gimbal that can follow you around like this? So you have that freedom to move around. Because then that makes it not AI and it makes it human, it makes it you and unique to you when you put your own passion and emotion into things. So often I hear my clients who I coach in particular, their barriers of getting into flow, why they can't do it, why they haven't got enough. Time's always the excuse, not the issue, I believe, and why they can't plan ahead, why they can't batch content create. If we applied the same thing to our fitness program or a diet phase, a building phase, then we'd get nothing done, right? So the same thing applies to creating content. Give yourself enough time. If you're trying to rush through a workout in 15 minutes that should take an hour and a half, it's not going to end well. So the same thing applies here, okay? So common blockers or problem areas that can be resolved if you want them to be is comparing yourself to fitness coaches and other coaches online. This comes down to your confidence and your self-assurance in yourself. Over planning and perfectionism, that is a massive thing in the fitness industry because it's so saturated with other coaches that feel like, you may feel like you're perfect, who are not. So over planning and even shooting content and not putting it out there is a massive blocker for a lot of my clients. The only way to overcome that is just to think, okay, we're going to post it, it's 70% there, it's done, move on, okay? Getting distracted between trying to be in creative flow and not actually fully being committed to the process. You can't do everything at once, so set aside some time to just basically focus on one thing at a time, and I assure you, you'll get more done that way and you'll get better ideas that way in terms of your social media content creation. Obviously, there are times, even for me, where I get inspiration halfway through a workout. So the best thing to do if that happens and you get inspiration in the middle of doing something else is to basically have a designated place where you put all your ideas, whether it be a Google sheet or whether it be a note, anywhere, somewhere where you know, that's where it could even be voice notes if you're more of an audio person. Name that voice note with a topic and then you'll be able to come back to it later on and find it. So you have to have an organisation in things. And that will stop you from wanting to get too sucked into the ideation when you should be doing check-ins and vice versa. And I promise you, a bit more structure and a bit more boundaries with yourself will really help, especially if you are new to fitness coaching or new to content creation. And most of the time, people I work with are not blocked. They don't have these blockers. It's not really true. They're just probably overstimulated or overworked. The other thing that actually stops people from coming up with good ideas is either bad organisation or overworked. They're not giving themselves enough time off. So I promise if you go into another location and think, okay, I'm going to give myself like a couple of hours, I'm going to make it a nice experience, I'm going to get a coffee in a coffee shop and make it a nice experience, you will have a fantastic creative session of brainstorming, planning, whatever you need to do. Take yourself into a new environment and it works a treat. I do it often as well. So I come into my office, I work from home, and then we'll go to the coffee shops as well. And just changing up the environment massively helps with creative flow. So unofficially that was my tips, but I'm going to go with my 5 official tips now on entering creative flow and the creative zone. And these are all tips that I either do myself or I coach my clients on to help them get into the zone, get into regular content creation, ideation sessions, planning and even filming themselves, just to help with the consistency of showing up online and the pressures that come with that as a fitness professional. So I've already said it, a dedicated content creation zone or a brainstorming zone, if that's the same place, that's fine, but create a space where you only go there for that. Just like you only go to the gym for your workout. Also, having a digital space where all your ideas go down, all your plans go down, everything to do with content creation, content ideas, USPs, values, everything to do around this, hashtags, call to actions needs to be in a specific place. It doesn't have to be the same place. I've got mine in a Google Doc. So I've got mine in a Google Doc and then a Google Sheet, and I've got tabs separate for different things. So everything's organised, and as soon as I want to do that thing, I don't have to scramble around trying to find it. It's opened every day anyway, I can just click on it and away we go. It's on my phone, it's on my laptop, it's on my iPad, all my devices, easily accessible, and I know exactly where it is in the folder in my Google Drive as well, should I need to go and find it. But make it a habit to look at these documents at least weekly and remind yourself of the action plan or the ideas that you want to create, and it will become a lot easier and you'll not come up against these barriers which will make it feel really difficult. Create a digital zone, create digital assets almost for yourself, and create a physical space where you just go for that thing. And then number 2 is block out time and avoid distractions in that time. To put your phone away or turn it off, put it on silent, put it in another room, put your laptop on do not disturb, and create an allocated time and stick to it. Set yourself alarms as well to remind yourself in 1 hour we have to be doing this. If you're ever a hyper-focused person like me, you will know it can be very easy to go into the mood, not the plan. So creating yourself a physical space aligned with your time blocking, I suppose it is, yeah, like time, and create yourself boundaries within that time is an absolute. I know it's difficult when you are self-employed, you may be working from home, and really you've got the freedom to do whatever the hell you want, but it must be done. I like to wear headphones as well, even if I've not got any music on, but I do find like a fire crackling sounds quite good as well, or like you can put deep focus music on. It makes a massive difference. So throughout the week I want you to focus on blocks in your calendar. So it might be an ideation block, it might be a filming block, it might be a script writing block, an editing block, a scheduling block. Just make it bite-sized and what fits your schedule the best and fits your energy as well. I prefer to do ideation first thing on the morning, and then like editing I prefer to do on the evening after I've been to the gym. Even if it's late, I just find that I can pretty much do that easily. It doesn't stress me out. You might be different. You might find ideation really easy and you like to do it on the go, and you might think, okay, so actually I prefer to do my editing on a morning because it's the most difficult. So it's like the eat the frog theory. So yeah, do what works for you, but just put it in your diary and be intentional about it. The same as you do with your training, with your client work, do the same for this. Okay, number 3, move first and create after. So personally for me, I like to combine 8 a.m-ish, 8:30ish, first thing when I get up, coffee, water, straight on the walking pad, and then get some ideation done, some marketing done. It's always going to be one of them 2 things, or admin if it's urgent. But I find that having a bit of movement really helps. If I don't want to do it at the same time, then I will go for a little walk, or I tend to just do quite a lot of my work for creative work after the gym as well. Like I said, I just find that having those endorphins going, almost like the movement creates movement. So that really helps me, and it's something that my clients have implemented as well, and they really find it works. Also, hitting record and actually filming content after you've had exercise, or for me, after I've had a meeting with somebody and my energy is higher because I'm a very people person. I know I'm going to create the best content or the best ideas, the best creative work when I've just had a meeting with someone or I've exercised. So I make sure I fit it around when I've got those things in my diary to play to my strengths and advantages. Yeah, definitely helps, 100%. I've tried it first thing in the morning, like filming, does not work for me. Afternoons, after meetings, it's perfect. And then number 4 then, use prompts and bullet points over scripts generally, unless you've got a really good auto cue system like I have. I'm reading off prompts or bullet points at the moment, but I've also used scripts in the past, which makes it a lot quicker, but it's probably not as thought-led. So I would say if you're filming talking head videos that are long form, do it in bullet point format. If you're doing reels that need to be short and succinct, do it with an auto cue or teleprompter. But remember to smile. Always remember to smile when you are filming your content, because it makes you feel like it's just warmer and more inviting. Smile, gesticulate, move around a little bit if you can, and yeah, just make it a little bit more flowing and relaxed. Number 5 is a controversial one, but if you are into this sort of thing, you can use mindfulness and visualization before you film. Getting yourself in that calm space where you are feeling zen and relaxed really helps, but the same goes for going out for a walk. That's, for me, a bit more of a mindfulness exercise. Doing some nice slow breathing so you feel just chilled and everything feels a little bit looser. So essentially getting into creative flow is all about you feeling good, feeling energized and feeling relaxed in order to bring that creativity out and get into the zone of whatever you're doing, whether that be filming, ideation, planning. And that's really it. It does take practice, but once you get the right balance for you, your schedule and your routine, just give it a try, record what works. It might take you 2 to 4 weeks to, if you're consistent with it, take 2 to 4 weeks to get used to where your energy sits throughout the day. And I promise you, once you've found that perfect thing, it will be so worth it. So I just want you to know that you don't have to be perfect to show up online. You don't have to be super polished as a fitness coach or any creator. You just have to be authentic and be yourself. You need to show up and just bring across the connection to the other person on the side of the camera, like you're talking to a client, a friend. Just be yourself. And yes, it can be weird talking to a piece of glass just like this. However, how much value I hope you have got from this video. It is worth it for me to film the video and put the effort in. Getting into flow or creativity shouldn't feel forced, it should feel natural. So once you find that little balance, then stick with that and give it a go for a good 1 to 2 months at least, and see how your content looks after that. See how your content feels to post. I'm pretty sure you will find a big difference in how you feel about your content once you feel good about your content that you're creating. It's more about creating from who you already are and less about the perfect, polished comparison content that you've got in your head right now, maybe, and just less noise, more of you, more authentic content essentially. If you would like to know more about this or see more content like this, give me a follow on Instagram, is in the link description below, and DM me the word flow to access my 7 days of easy post training document, and I will send it straight to your inbox. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more tips like this. I've been Collette from Pitch Perfect. Thank you and see you next time.